Back here with another edition of the Coach's Corner with head coach Steve Johnson. Coach, first off, congratulations. Good win over Gustavus. We've talked about it throughout the week. Another 3-point victory for you guys. You know, your last 3 games have been within that small margin, but to gut one out on the road like that at Gustavus, not an easy place to play. Good to kind of get that win on your back.
It's huge. You know, we've had 3 games in a row and that have just been tight, and it's just so good for us to go through those. Obviously, you want to win them all, but Gustavus has always been just a dogfight. You know, Coach Haugen does a great job, and as we kind of, you know, every game has its own picture, but every season same thing, and so there are just these stepping stones to the next deal. But you're right, having a couple games that are tight and just kind of getting through those things, I think it pays dividends for later. Well,
we talked about it a little bit. Tale of two halves. That first half, that offense really came out, right? We start with a field goal from Hugo Cifuentes, a nice 32-yarder. Then you get back-to-back touchdown receptions from your receivers who are kind of flying all over the place. We'll talk a little bit about Micah Newald. It's hard to pass that one up, right? It ties a single game record, 15 receptions. Made some nice catches, some explosive plays that really kind of helped set the tone for you guys.
Yeah, he really did. And our offense, we had a couple of 95-play drives in the first quarter. Now, something there, you have to be careful because a couple were aided by penalties. Not that they were real penalties, but you can kind of get into you feel like everything's gonna keep going that way, and you have to play 60 minutes and stay in the fight. But Rosti was right on the money, and a lot of times Joey gets double coverage. But Micah Newald is amazing. Like, he's at practice, he's like the Energizer Bunny. He's never not working. He's got this smile on his face all the time. I get tired watching him, but he is all over the place. And 15 catches is unheard of, and they weren't like just 13 bubbles in a slant. I mean, they were all over the place. But he played great and with great energy. And Joey Kidder got hurt and was out for a while. Came back in a little bit later as a decoy, but also made a great play. And so it was really a strong day for those guys, and then Hugo also just making he's 3 for 3 in the field goals and all of his extra points, and he's just money.
Right. Well, that's one of those key things too to have, and then tie that along with the defensive side of things. They come up with 5 sacks on the day. There was some obviously low points in that second half where you've given up a couple explosive plays, but then to come up and get a big stop, 4 straight incompletions to kind of let your team come in on victory formation. They really, you talk about staying the fight. That's what that defense did.
Oh, they really did, and we talk about sometimes even the kids and the media or whatever. Mm-hmm. You talk about sacks are the big deal. Well, pressure is the big deal, and we ended up knowing that we had some sacks, but we really had good pressure on them, and they just made some plays that are a little bit unusual and got out of some 30 or some third down and 23s, and our percentage on it wasn't that bad, but the ones they made were they were disheartening. And then there's this confidence thing that you're here and then whoa, and it gets like that, and so you have to battle that, and that is that's managing a football game, not just coaches but players. And I'm really proud of our guys, just hanging tough, staying within who we are, and doing the job and getting those things done.
Coach, we talked about it on paper. Hamline, you guys have the edge on Hamline, but that doesn't stop you guys from kind of playing your game, especially at home. And it kind of prepares you now for this divisional race to get that Skyline Division Championship that puts you into the MIAC Championship game. It all kind of starts there with you guys that can just fly around.
Yeah, and that being home, having homecoming, hopefully a lot of people. I think it's gonna be an electric atmosphere. Hamline is they're a good team on paper. They're not as good as us, but the game's going to be played on AstroTurf. So the whole day is important. We talk to our guys about it's really a privilege to be in championship games, and this is one because it's another step toward being able to play for the championship in that November 10th tilt. And so, but really we talk about how it's not who you play, it's how you play. And we want to play with a consistency and a toughness and growing. And even the practices we have now, we're banking those for later. And they've been good. And our guys are they're just online. There's there's a lot of joy at practice, but there's a real serious attitude of, hey, we're pretty good. Let's work together, love each other by giving our gifts away, and it really is. I love the chemistry of the group. You know what I mean? They're just they care about each other. They're a blast to be with, but incredibly serious about football.
Well, this isn't your first rodeo when it comes to homecoming. It's got to be great for you and your staff just to kind of see some guys that get to come back. This is the one time of the year sometimes they get to come back, and to have that strong alumni and that tradition that have built that foundation for the team to be as successful as it is now. You know, when you walk into Royal Stadium, you see all those banners with the different success in the years that your teams had. It's just kind of one of those special feelings at this time of year.
Yeah, you know, the early morning they have a 7:30. They have a alumni football game, and I go to that, man. It just brings tears in my eyes. I just feel really blessed with those guys who have gone before, and we stand on their shoulders. Yep. And you're never not part of us. And you know, the heart part, the physical part, and all that stuff is great, but the spiritual oneness and just a bunch of guys that love the Lord, love football, love each other, and just to see those is going to be, it's an emotional time for me.
Well, I know we're excited to see everyone on campus. Royal football take the 1 o'clock kickoff against Hamline. Alumni, you and your families are getting in free this day. Don't forget to visit the alumni tent, get your free t-shirt. It'll also be Champions Day here on campus. We'll celebrate the MIAC champions of baseball, softball, indoor track and field. A lot of things to be excited about. Coach, wish you the best of luck.
Can't wait. Here we go.